Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 125 of the Self-Publishing Roundtable, the podcast for indie authors by indie authors, where we discuss today's topics and issues that matter to the business of the self-published author. I am your host, Wade Finnegan, and I'm joined by some couple nice smiling faces tonight, the co-panelist Erica Conroy
Hi.
and Liam Kingman.
Howdy.
Hey. Xavier has some family things to get to, and we've had some technical difficulties. This is a really good way to introduce the show, right? But so tonight it's been a little bit messed up. So we'll probably end up retitling this show at some point. We were scheduled to have Elizabeth Garrison on, but for some reason things are just not gelling on the internet. So our site is down and stuff like that. So hopefully we got a few people watching live on YouTube, and hopefully we've set that up enough so you could ask some questions with us tonight. It will kind of turn into an Ask Us Anything, or as Liam just said a minute ago, an Ask Us Nothing. So I will remind you, though, when the site is back up, which should be shortly, you should go to selfpublishingroundtable.com because we are adding lots more content there. Fresh start for 2016, more blog posts, more information from our roundup. Of course, all our shows are cataloged there as well. Catch us on iTunes, all those good things. And when you get a chance, you please may hit that donate button to help us keep the show viable. All that stuff, like I say, the new website is coming soon, so we got a lot of cool stuff coming. And I know one of my co-panelists has YouTube open because I keep hearing everything I say in about a half-second delay right behind me. So,
I got it muted.
Yeah, I got mine muted too, so it must be
I
your
closed
own there,
mine.
Wade.
well, maybe it is. I don't know, but I don't think I have it open. I don't know.
Do you have it open, Wade? Are you listening to yourself over there?
It's surreal actually watching it because you see yourself from like 30 seconds ago moving. You're like, what? I'm moving? No, I'm not moving. No, it's not me, that's past me.
Oh my gosh, yes. So, how's your guys' week been since the new year started? Let's just start off with some general catching up.
I don't remember.
Sweet,
And I
moving on.
didn't- I don't remember what I've done. I've watched a lot of anime. I've got one sticker on my calendar, and I've got a deadline today for my editor, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I told I'm gonna come out. No, I'm not gonna come out, but I'm gonna come out and say
Yay!
that
Yeah, really retitling this. Wade comes out.
yes, I did not meet my self-imposed deadline for having something to Erica completed, but I will say this: that our goal show, the last show, 124, and you guys haven't listened to it yet, go check it out. Did help me. I've started that on January 4th. I've only got one sticker so far, but I have written every day since that one, so I haven't missed a day yet. So, but haven't quite hit my word count as high as I want to, but yeah.
Baby steps, like Chris Fox says, a little bit at a time, and build your way up there.
That's right.
Keep at it. It's the
Right,
hard part, sitting down and getting started, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. So hopefully build up some endurance and that sort of thing. So, yeah, so that's going good. How about you, Liam? How's your new year starting off?
Well, I have not hit my 2,000 words a day that I wanted, but I have hit the 250 words minimum, so I have got that streak going and everything. I just dumped on my girlfriend a collection of my poetry that I've had for, well, this is all from like 96 through 2002. There's a little over 500 poems and prose in there that I just dumped on her to go through and edit, so she's going to be...
How old were you during this period of time?
That would have been 18 through 22, 24. So I'm finally getting around to getting that out there.
Kind of poetry, isn't it?
Yeah. So some of the older stuff, I'm going to get that out, and then I've got some collections from 2013 through 2015 that I'm going to follow up later this year and do some new stuff from 2016. So that's something in addition to the goal show. I'm going to get back into doing that again. Not that there's a huge market for that, but it's something that keeps me writing, and it keeps me getting the words down, and it keeps me a lot of my writing I've talked in the past, even though like I don't have anything out under Liam, is more of a poetic flow to it, and it's a little bit more broken in the imagery, and that really kind of helps me get into the zone for that. So yeah.
Nice.
Kind of cheat your way into getting some words done.
Whatever you gotta do.
Yeah,
Whatever.
whatever you gotta do.
I don't know if we have anybody live viewing or not, but if you do, I think the question thing is enabled, so any question is okay tonight if you're watching live. If you're able to follow us through Facebook or whatever to get to the to this, but so otherwise, I think we'll start talking a little bit. At least one thing that we want to talk about. Me and Liam and I know both said we need to do this is improve our websites. So we thought maybe we would bounce some ideas around about website development, at least to start off with anyway. And we might just not talk about that and go off somewhere else. But
Oh, yeah, I mean, we've got to have some kind of dick joke in here at some point. It's been a few weeks since we've been on air last.
that's right.
I think we should start with what a website, what an author website should actually contain.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what a website is, so...
It's an Irish website. Shout out to Robert with that one. I'm sure he'll appreciate it.
You know, I guess for me on that question, it's easier for me to answer what it shouldn't have. I know this. I get
everything
damn
on your
annoyed.
website.
Yeah, well, yeah. I visit a lot of author websites actually because of the show, right? So every time I have somebody on, I always check out their website and stuff. And I know marketing is a big deal, obviously, but if I see any more freaking pop-ups, I'm about ready to scream. I get so tired of the big box right in the middle that says sign up for my newsletter. I know you want to sign up, you get newsletter sign-ups, but quit putting in the pop-up. Just put it off to the sidebar right there where it's nice and easy to get to. If I want to sign up to your newsletter, I'm sure I would. It's just annoying.
That won't make them stop though, because it actually works. 9 times out of 10, it actually works. There are some website pop-ups that you can have that come up off to the side of the website instead of in front of it. So once you've scrolled down the page or something, it'll pop up in the corner. If you like this, please sign up to the website. That's much less intrusive, but a lot of people are now using the main pop-up one because people like, what's his name, Mark Dawson, and is it Nick Stevenson, endorse it, and that's all the Facebook advertising authors. Most of them are incorporating it into their marketing and ways of moving people into their mailing lists. And since a normal reader probably isn't going to look at 11 billion authors' websites in a day, it probably won't piss the normal reader off as much as it pisses you off.
You're probably
Just
right.
a guess.
You're probably right. You're probably right. But I have noticed it's damn annoying. But okay, and one of the things, by the way, on our roundup post this week has a little bit about author websites. You guys should check that out. But one of the things too is that a lot of authors make the mistake of targeting authors or using their website as stuff that they want to have other authors know about, which I think is a big mistake too.
I don't want other authors to know anything about me except my books.
Yeah, but I think a lot of authors. What's that, Liam? I missed that.
She might be on the wrong show.
Well, don't you want anyone who visits your site to buy your books? Author, reader.
I was thinking more of a making focus like here's some writing tips or whatever those types of things versus only focusing on the fiction or the nonfiction, I guess, depending on what you're selling. But yeah, on the books. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I can talk a little bit more about the not things to do. Like I had one website where I posted actually quite frequently for a while. I was almost posting every day. I was talking. It was a little bit and I didn't realize it at the time, but Dean Wesley Smith had started writing in public on his website, where he was doing a post every day and talking about the writing that he's done and the different things that he'd done throughout the day. And he's at this point now, I haven't checked it for a while, I got a couple years going of doing it. And I started right around the same time as him and just didn't realize it. I'd done it for a couple of months. So I'm like, well, you know, he's got a much bigger audience and no one's really coming to the site that much. I had 20, 30 people that were coming to it. So I ended up killing that, and then I decided, I'll do a big relaunch, and I relaunched the site, and then I didn't post anything other than like a couple hundred poems on there, and then, you know, that follow-up post never came, and then it was like a year later, I'm like, I should probably take down the post about relaunching the site. So, yeah.
I think you have two options here. You can either have a blog on your site, and if you know you can, you know, post something every other day or once a week or whatever it is, even if it's a poem, like you said, go for it. But if you're lazy like me, don't have a blog component on there. Only have information about you and your books, whatever you think a reader might find helpful. Really, in that sense, I use my newsletters and my Facebook to be a bit more, you know, chatty or informative, anything outside of, you know, I want to share cats with you. Here you go, cats. Yay! That kind of thing. Or if I have a poem, which I don't, I could share it on my Facebook or something like that. Yeah, so that's what you need to sit down and decide, because you're supposed to be spending a lot of your time on writing. So unless you're using your blog post to push some aspect of your writing, or it's a deleted scene, or it gets you into the writing mood and you start with the blog post and then move into your fiction, I think you shouldn't probably worry too much about blogging, especially when you're first starting out. But that's only my opinion. Other people will say, you know, no, you need a blog and build your audience beforehand, but really personal preference.
I mean, I think part of it is identifying your mission. What is the mission of your website? Is your mission of your website to draw people in to sign up to newsletters or that sort of thing? Or is it just to advertise? Or is it, you know, and a lot of that goes down to personality too. I think, like, you know, take you for example, Erica. I think your Facebook stuff you're pretty interactive on, and that probably helps. You don't think it helps? I think it helps.
No, I don't think I'm that interactive. I mean, I see a cat picture or something, I'll share it. I don't get too chatty with people, you know, and hardly anyone says anything on my Facebook page, so, but I still use it to, you know, announce when there's a new book, just in case someone's following.
Well, maybe it's the way Facebook algorithms work, but you do show up in the feed quite a bit, so I think you maybe not giving yourself enough credit, but so.
Well, I can show up in the feed. It doesn't always mean I'm interacting with people. I might just be posting stuff on, you know, and it just shows up in your news feed, but I'm not really replying to other people as much.
No, but I still think
the interacting part, replying to people.
Well, okay. Well, how about just frequency then? Because that will also just.
Oh yeah, I'm always on the Facebook. Yay, Facebook is awesome. You know.
So people are seeing your name a lot. That's, you know, that connection.
And my cat too.
And your cat.
Not my cat, but, you know.
The cat. The cat.
My avatar is Business Cat, so. Yeah.
How did you choose Business Cat anyway? What kind of decision making went into that?
He's just my favorite lowcat. Business Cat means business. He stays in late to, you know, catch that red dot. Goes that extra mile.
Well, good thing for cats, I guess. What else do we want to include on our website?
Well, if you actually want your readers to contact you, I would say a contact form would be helpful. But if you don't want them to, then don't.
Yeah, pretty straightforward advice there, I guess. Yeah, if you want.
So I don't, on my websites I don't have contact details. One of them, I allow people to have the option of sending me a message when they sign up to my newsletter. So if they want to say something to me directly, they have to actually sign up to my newsletter and include the comment they want to give me, and that gets emailed to me, and I might email them back. Depends what they say. They usually say nice things though. Give me the next book. That was usually quite common as well.
I want the next book and I want it for free, or just to give you the.
No, but I do give it to people for free, like your advanced reader review groups or whatever it is. That's you grab most of them from your mailing list. You ask for volunteers or whatever. But I will be setting up a separate mailing list specifically geared for my ARC readers, so that they don't get mixed up too much. I've just had one of my readers who's also on my ARC list. She's been getting all of the normal newsletters, and she's been emailing me each time I see one out, going, "I've already read this book," because I put my backlist on promotion, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I know you have." And she goes, "I'm happy to review the next one in the series when that one comes out." And I'm like, "You're not coming out till another couple of months." And then another newsletter goes out, and she goes, "Oh, just like I said in the previous email, I've already reviewed this one." I'm like, "Oh shit! How about I set up a separate newsletter just for you?"
Yeah.
And the other ARC readers, and yeah. So I'll be doing that. A lot of authors apparently do that as well. They keep those lists separate. So they'll go, "Oh, I've got a new book coming out," and they'll just link to their ARC mailing list and get people to sign up there. So it's just something they throw out on their Facebook page, in their newsletters, just anywhere where they interact with their fans. So I guess even in their book back matter as well, on their ebooks. But yeah. Just keep things secret. More mailing lists.
Yeah. And that's where I actually, 2 shows ago, where Meredith, our virtual assistant show, would be really helpful and that type of stuff, because I know I'd be like you. I'd be like, "Oh shit, I should have made 2 lists there and should have kept." And
Well, it's easy enough to make another list. Well, it's easy enough for me to make another list. Not sure about people like you, Wade. I mean, do you have any experience with HTML or CSS? I mean, there are some very simple ways to set them up where you don't need to know that. But if you're making a website and you've got a specific theme on the WordPress or something, and you want it to look a specific way, then it kind of helps to have some of that knowledge. But you can just ask MailChimp or whatever to give you a page, and you can just link people to that page instead of embedding it into your website. So it really depends on.
Oh, see, I learned something there. So you can do a MailChimp page. You don't have to necessarily have the little MailChimp box sign up. You can just have a whole page.
But yeah, it'll just look like a generic page unless you want to pretty it up a bit. But yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. See, did not know that. And to answer your question, no, I don't have any HTML. As I can
You're
tell.
a teacher, Wade. I thought teachers were supposed to learn all this shit so they could teach it to their
No, I teach people how to read well. And guess what? That hasn't changed for a long time. Yeah, I teach people how to read well, and I can teach people how to write sentences. And I still use pen and paper in my classroom, believe it or not.
I've heard of this thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Once in a while, I will say, like, once a week we use computers, maybe, but most of the time it is straightforward. Read out of a book, and we talk and discuss, and then.
Oh my god, you talk?
Yeah.
A novel.
Yeah, and they actually have to put their phones away. They don't get to actually use them when I'm talking.
What?
Oh wow, you have that much power over them? That's amazing.
Yeah, changing lives here. Changing lives.
Okay, so what else do we need on our website? I would say.
Well, I got another thing on most people use WordPress, and you do have the option of hosting WordPress yourself or using WordPress.com. What would you say is, like, for a beginning author or someone that's just kind of starting to establish, which would be better for them? Is it better to host it and have a little bit more creative freedom with it, or have it on the WordPress.com, where it's a little bit easier to link to other authors or go to different topics and things like that?
Are you asking me or Wade?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Yeah. She'll put the expertise side on it, and I'll put the non-expertise side.
I just wanted to work, Wade says.
Yeah.
Straight out of the box.
Right.
Well, like you said, there are some pros and cons to doing it both ways. With WordPress.com sites, it's like you said, a lot easier to do. And also, if there's some issues going at it from the attacks and hacking side, if something was WordPress hacked, WordPress are usually pretty quick at fixing and patching up their own servers and stuff, the WordPress.com stuff, before they will set up the new updates, which will fix it for the self-hosted WordPress ones. So in a sense, you might be more prone to be attacked because WordPress itself is a huge entity. But if you are, you're also more likely to be fixed faster than what you would be if you were self-hosting. But I would say it's up to the individual's author's ability and budget in terms of web hosting and web development. So if you're perfectly comfortable, like I was, to create your own website, totally go for it and host it yourself. You have, like you said, much more control and freedom over the website. But if you're like Wade and don't know shit, WordPress.com is just as good a way to start out, because you can always self-host later when you feel much more confident or about your website skills, or if you come into more money and want to sort of upgrade and get a bit more fancier. That's my opinion.
So when I started this journey, I started out doing freelance versus fiction writing, and kind of tried to suck in all the information I could. And most people said that you should host your own, just because you own it, right? It's yours. But one of the things that, and actually a company we talked about in the pre-show a little bit, that I won't mention names, but a hosting company has its own issues too. So like when I first did my quality writing stuff way back when, that was fine when I very first started. I got it signed up and it worked okay. But then as I wanted to change, I found that my lack of skills there, or like I wanted to add in more sites, which also would cost more money, or try to delete a site and buy a new name and that sort of thing. And every time you do that, even though it's not a lot of money, it adds up, especially when you're first starting out. So looking at hindsight now, it seems like right now with WadeFinnegan.com, it's nowhere where I want it to be. I need to do a lot of things with it, and I have another name that I'm be writing under here soon, and I think I need a website for that. So now I got to try to add another one on. So yeah, if I would have known what I know now, I don't know. I almost wanted to pay somebody to do it, but also at the same time, again, talk a lot of money, but it's like I don't really have a lot of interest in learning how to build websites. I just want my website to function well enough so that my fans can find me, and I can post some things once in a while. But I don't really, as building websites doesn't excite me by any means.
I think for me, I started out with the WordPress.com, and I liked it. I liked the interaction that I could get by going out and finding other topics that I liked to talk about or read about, and liking their stuff kind of like made them like back. So we started like going back and forth and talking back and forth with it, and it worked great for a while until I got to the point where I wanted to do some customization to the site, and found out that you are very limited in what you can do with it. I mean, there is still a lot of opportunities of different things you can do, but hosting it yourself versus having the .com, it's like night and day. There's just such a broader scope of what you can do with it, and it is a little bit difficult at first. Not that difficult, and I think if you spent just a little bit of time with it, Wade, you'd find it's really it gets very easy. And the CSS, there's a lot that, yes, it's great if you know it, but a lot of with the way WordPress is now, you can kind of just like put in kind of what you want, and it kind of does the code a little bit for you as well.
Yeah. Another time suck though too, right? We talk about the idea of what do you update, how much time do you put into it, and that sort of thing too.
Once it's set up and you've got all of your books and everything in there, it shouldn't take you too long to do updates, because the updates, depending on how many plugins you have, you shouldn't have to update all that often. It should, in theory, probably your Akismet, your theme update in the WordPress itself, and possibly a contact form update might be, the plugins you'll probably use. Just the very basic ones you might need if you're going for self-hosting.
Yeah.
And a lot of themes, they look like what you want it to look like anyway, so you shouldn't have to fiddle around with them too much. It's just people who know how to fiddle around with them tend to want to fiddle around with them
Right.
and make them exactly like what you want. Yeah.
That's one of those, I like this, but ooh, I would like this a little bit better. This making that change. Ooh.
That theme shopping can get that way too, because I remember when I first started doing it too. It's like, because some themes are very expensive, some themes are free. So I find myself scrolling through like, oh, I like that, and they think, okay, bye. And then you have buyer's remorse. So they're like, oh, wait a second, I didn't want that one. I want this one.
No, there are lots of free ones. So before you should even look at a paid theme, you should be looking at the free ones theme at first, because there are quite a lot of good free ones out there. And then there's a lot of pro ones that are out there that you might pay for. And it's kind of handy because you will get the regular updates. But a lot of them tend to also release a light free version, which will look similar and won't have as much of the functionality as the paid for one, but they should, cover most of the bases, and you can be perfectly happy with a lot of those. So you don't have to spend money again there, Wade. You can, get your own hosting and your own domain or whatever, and then whip up your WordPress and go, oh, I like that free theme, and you've only spent as much as it takes for your hosting and your domain name.
Yeah. Yeah. Are most hosting plans around $10-12 a month? Is that pretty typical?
Don't ask me. I have a whole server at my disposal.
Yeah.
So.
The company that I use and everything, I think mine's $8.99 a month. And with the setup I have, I can host pretty much an unlimited amount of sites with domains under that hosting plan.
Yeah, we have. I'm told we essentially have unlimited data on ours. We pay a lot, but that's because it's my husband's server, and he goes for all the direct access and all the fun stuff. He hosts a lot of people, so it means I get to do a lot of shit. I'm like, can I have another domain name? Okay, no, I can't.
How many domain names do you own, Erica? Or do you even know?
4 or 5 at the moment.
Okay.
It's gotten to the point where he says I can't have another one until I get rid of an old one.
Yeah, I've got 5.
Yeah.
You've got 5 as well. Man, I feel inferior.
Come on, you got to get them all.
I can't keep track of my own self, not alone 5 of myself.
Oh, they're not all for writing. We've got I got other interests outside of writing that I have websites for. So.
Gosh, I really want to ask more questions about that, but I'll hold off.
After party.
That might be for some time later, Erica.
Back to the topic. So we've got contact form, the annoying pop-up that pisses Wade off, but is effective, mailing list, preferably a mailing list. They've got to have some way to funnel these people through so you can contact them directly. What else have we said? WordPress.
Have a blog if you're going to do it, but don't have a blog if you're not.
Yeah, and you probably won't. You'll start out with good intentions.
I'm going to kill mine.
Just like Liam. You'll start out like Liam. All gung-ho, and then you're like, meh.
Yeah, it is tough. It's tough to figure. Like with our Spurt blog, it's a little easier because it's a focus. But when it's just your author site, it's like, well, what the hell do I want to talk about today? So yeah.
And quite honestly, I don't really like talking about myself that much. So when you're blogging, you end up talking about yourself quite a bit, and it didn't interest me.
Well, if you're writing every day, hopefully you can talk about your writing instead. Like I said, deleted scenes or where a certain idea came from, or I think a lot of people like to post pictures of what inspires them for their writing or who they think their characters look like, and what else is there? Cover releases, in-character interviews with your annoying characters, that kind of thing. So there are things you can do. You've just got to commit to doing them often.
Yeah.
which is the fun part. But I guess it helps if you are tuning out the words every day. You at least have something new that you can talk about in your next blog post, hopefully. Even if it's, oh shit, I wrote 10,000 words and deleted 11,000.
Oh, I hope I don't have one of those days coming up.
Word of advice, if you do have one of those days, don't delete the words, just stick them in another folder and use them later. They could be good for something else.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you don't feel like you've wasted your time because you've still got those 10,000 words somewhere.
Even if they do suck.
So, when I hear people have deleted like 10,000 words, I'm like, oh my god, that's 10,000 words that are already written. It could be.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't understand those people.
I guess one thing we've left off is obvious. If you have it, you should have links to your books, right? You should have your Amazon links.
And links to any other place you sell your book, if you do.
Right.
Sell it elsewhere. Like, I mean, everyone's big go-to is Amazon, but there are other retailers out there. Not that I use them at the moment, but yeah. It's so much easier just linking this as the one link, you know?
Yeah.
Like Amazon, here's my book, here's it at Amazon, click on that, it goes straight to Amazon. Yay, I don't have to add in Barnes & Noble, I don't have to add in Kobo, I don't have to add in Smashwords or any of the other shit. It's much easier. But, you know, if your plan is to go wide, you've got to add all of those links in there as well. But a little trick, if you have overseas readers and you don't want to send them straight to the American site because they might not be able to buy from the American site, you can use SmartLinks. What is it? SmartLinks.it, and there's other like link shorteners or I think we put one in the Roundup resources just that came out on Sunday. I think it's called OneLink or something like that, where you put in your AmazonAmerica.com link for that book, and it'll bring up all the other links from all the other Amazon stores in it. So you could just get one link to put on your website, and if someone in India clicks on your link, it'll take them to the Indian Amazon store where your book is. Or if they're in America, it'll take them to the American one. Or if you're in New Zealand, it'll take you to the Australian one because it's stupid. I personally buy from the American one because the Australian one's a little bit limited. But yeah, I find that's very helpful because a lot of people tend to forget other countries. They just think, oh, well, there's the UK. Okay, I'll include the UK link, and it's like there's a hell of a lot more people out there than you think there are. Yeah. I rambled on a lot. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's good. You're right.
So wait, are you saying that the world is a big place? Is that what you're trying
to say? Yeah, it's this giant sphere spinning around the universe, and it's full of people from different countries, and they have different skin colors and stuff.
Amazing.
I actually think we got a question from the Q&A, but I can't pull it up. I don't know what.
How do you know then?
Well, because it says there's a question, but I click on it and it's not coming up. So,
it looks like Krishawn, and she's just done the Madonna booby eyes.
Oh, that's what it is.
One there, Krishawn. Helpful.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's tiny up there. Oh, got it.
I do those ones a lot, but it's usually the squinty eye one, like, oh my god, oh! Okay, so back on topic, because we're notorious for not staying on topic.
What?
And it's usually my fault, but...
I don't think we're notorious for it. I just think, I think it's kind of a nice little whim.
Hated dick.
Well, that's true. And dinosaur dick. Yeah, and dinosaur...
And
yeah, you're right.
My fault too. I'm sorry. So the book pages on your website, what information do we recommend people share on their website about their books?
And Erica, you just cut out for me. Did Liam cut out for you too?
Yeah,
and we've got telling them to link to their books on Amazon and wherever, but what information do they need? I mean, ideally, I would recommend a small picture of the cover, but what else would you put on there with that?
Okay, Erica. Now Erica's on delay for me. Gosh darn it! And I don't talk about top. Liam, can you hear?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit delayed.
Okay.
Oh.
Fun times. Okay. Somebody, go ahead, Liam.
What was the question?
What else do we include for the when you have your book on there? What other information do you include?
I think when it depends on what you're doing with the book. So if you're just putting in, are we talking about like on your website, like if you have your books up on there? Because like I lost it a little bit back and forth.
Yeah.
For me, I kind of treat it like the Amazon page. I know some people would prefer to go through Amazon or through iTunes or something of that nature. But for one of my other pen names, I was selling directly off the website as well. So I was using like treating the page as sort of like an Amazon site where you'd have like the information about the book, a little bit of the synopsis, the cover, things of that nature. You're given the option to buy, but I also gave the option to link to the Amazon sites, as iTunes, Smashwords, things like that.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, you don't want to overwhelm them, but at the same time, give them an option to find what they want to find.
Right.
If they took the time to get to your site, I mean, that's a really good lead, right? So.
After they've gotten rid of that annoying pop-up, right?
Right. That's right.
Amazon have actually just announced that they've released the an embeddable way to preview your book on third-party websites. So you can now go to an Amazon page, an Amazon book page, and underneath where it says buy or whatever it is or gift, it'll have the word embed, and it'll bring up. You can either do an embed that will click immediately to the preview on the Amazon site, or it will. There's another option where you can embed some iframe code into your website, and the whole live preview will come up in your website. But it also gives you the button to buy as well. So it's kind of like the look inside coming up on your website.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Are you using that on your website currently?
No, not yet. I only found out about it the other day, and I was all like, "Ooh, yes." But that will require me to fiddle around a bit with my existing code. So I'm like, after I've met my deadline, maybe. And after I've written Flood, maybe. But yeah, it might be put off for a while.
Okay, but that's all the technology and getting it easier to purchase, right? I think that's got to be one of the main things for your website, right? To make it easy for somebody to purchase your book.
Mm-hmm.
You got them there. So, what else? Do you guys how much of the about page? That's the one I'm really curious about, because some people do a lot with that. Some people do nothing, and you guys writing with pen names also might not want an about page or not very much. So what do you guys think about?
I have an about page and a picture, and it's actually of me. I think it's the same picture I have on the Spurt website. I don't go into too much detail, but it is all accurate and about me. I've just chosen to write different things for my different pen names. Focus on more things. So if it's more the steamy romance, I'll talk a little bit more about my darling husband, my handsome darling husband, or something like that. Whereas if it's the Erica one, I'll just say my poor darling husband instead of my poor darling handsome husband. That kind of thing is an example. But yeah, I try not to lie, because we've seen what happened with J.K. Rowling when she lied about being a returned serviceman. With her Cormoran Strike books, which I love reading, by the way. I really enjoy those. But yeah, I don't recommend you lie. Put some honesty in there, but you don't have to have the exact same bio with a different pen name on it. But yeah, that's just...
So you wouldn't suggest making up a total false persona then, though, either. You would.
No, but some people do, and it's fine if you think you can maintain it, especially if you have some social media interaction on there. But just because I have a couple of pen names and plan to get more, I really can't be fucked. So I keep to the truth as much as possible, so I don't have to worry about slipping up or saying the wrong thing. I mean, half the time I accidentally put my real name in when I'm writing stuff for Spirit, and X is like, Erica. And I'm like,
How about you, Liam? Do you include much personal information?
On the Liam Kingman site, I do have about me, and then in the last paragraph, I do say that Liam Kingman is a pen name. It's not my real name. On my other pen names that I'm not using anymore, I had somewhat fictitious, but for the most part, real. So yeah, I didn't go full
say you're a
undershot,
war
but there-
hero.
Yeah, I did have some. I did say that it was a pen name on one of them. One of them I didn't say that it was a pen name. So yeah, but I'm not using those anymore.
Yeah.
I did have a lot more information when I had my WordPress site for Erica a while ago, but that was when I was also kind of maintaining a blog, in that I included a list of my likes. I've got that sort of on the Spirit page, but I went into much more detail where I was like, this is currently my favorite song, and I'd link it to YouTube so people could go, watch my favorite song. And these are my favorite books, and I'd go link to the Amazon pages for the books. And, that's the kind of thing that, in theory, should update often. Again, I couldn't be bothered, so I got rid of it.
It's all about priorities, isn't it? It really is. It's just...
Updating the website. No. Creating a new one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true. It is so true. It's so hard to. And when you first started, it's like, oh, it's shiny and new, and you're like, oh, I'm excited, and then never fails. I always kind of lose interest. Yeah.
It went in with the best intentions, but yeah.
Right.
Wait, is that what you say was happening with your writing up till the end of last year? You start off with the best of intentions and then kind of.
Yeah, I'm still trying to grapple with a lot of things. I think one of the things I'm just not to try to psychoanalyze myself on here, but it's a confidence thing. A lot of it, I think, it's kind of self-sabotaging. Just doubting where I'm going. I tend to start fairly well, but don't get to the end. I think I gotta do a better job just pre-plotting. There's probably several things, and I think sometimes you do lose interest. And what also happens too is life gets in the way. You get out of the habit. You go away from it for a while, and then I feel like I got to reintroduce myself to it. I am noticing so far right now is like it's a lot easier when you just even if you don't do a ton, if you just do something with the story every day, it stays in that front hemisphere of your brain or something, and that way you're able to get right back into it. But I did a lot of times where I wrote really feverishly for a couple of weeks, and then I wouldn't write for a couple of weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, and then I go back and like, okay, where was I? And so a lot of backtracking.
Back into that zone.
Yeah. I really find like writing is more related to like working out than it is to inspiration, and it's cool to have ideas and stuff, but as other authors have said on other podcasts, the ideas are a dime a dozen, right? A lot of people have ideas for books, and it's pretty easy to come up with ideas. It's the execution, right? It's when you get into the muck of it all and try to figure out where to go, and you got to kind of grind it out, I think, is what I'm finding.
No, I completely agree. Like the long hiatus I took from writing and everything, I know I can do it. I've done it, but it's just that getting back into that habit and getting back into knowing, just doing it. That's just you got to do it. You got to put in the words. And I've got novels that are written in first draft, but to go back through it now, it's going to be like rewriting those books completely, even though it's just a second draft. It should just be a polish, where it was so long ago, even just being a year and a half on those. When I was done writing the first draft, I moved on, and it's getting back into the whole world again. And yeah, so moving forward, when I'm done the first draft, I might take a little bit of a break from them, but I'm going to go back to it a lot quicker, because it's just it's a big process to do it all over again at this point.
Yeah, I agree. And just I love it in the summertime when being a teacher, having summers off, when I can dedicate big chunks of time. But when you're working, and I know this is true for you, Liam, because you put in probably more hours than I do. It's tough to get your brain going, and you only got an hour, and I got to create this stuff. I think I almost put too much stress on myself. Oh, Erica, for those of the people that aren't watching YouTube, you should go over to YouTube and watch, by the way, once in a while. I love it that we have a lot of, actually quite a few views. The flood episode got a ton of views, but anyway, Erica just had not her cat, but a cat.
Random cat.
Random cat. Oh, he's so cute. What is the cat's name, Erica?
Neighbor's
Mickey.
cat.
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Mickey.
Mickey.
Like Mickey Mouse.
Ah. Mickey's very cute.
Now, is that your name for the cat, or is that the cat's real name?
That's the cat's real name, yeah. We talked with the owner. We have an understanding.
Now, why don't you own your own cat, Erica? Why do you have to borrow other people's
Landlord
cats?
hates cats, so we're not allowed one.
Oh.
And we like the house, so... And he's never put the rent out in the 5 years we've been here, so knock on wood.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. 5 years, no rent raises. There you go.
Yeah. Just on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, Liam, it's summer where Erica's at. Just to let you
I know.
if you're one of the people I sent a Christmas card to, I think I sent one to Michelle and one to Xavier. I made sure they were summer Christmas, New Zealand kind of Christmas cards, and made the point of saying, I hope you enjoy your winter Christmas. We'll be enjoying our summer with barbecues and lots of time at the beach. I think the family basically said, fuck you.
Nice. I think we got a few live viewers, so if anybody does have a question before we go off tonight, we'd love to answer it. And I just want to see the dink. Well, I know the Q&A thing works now because Krishan did put some squiggly boobs things on there, but that wouldn't really count. Or squiggly eyes, or whatever they were.
Anything else we would like to put on our awesome website? Some people I see do coming soon things, so they can tease their new book on their website. What else have I seen? Probably your social media links if you actually want to talk to people on social media, and you have no stalkery fans. That's good. What else, Liam? What have you included on any of your websites, like Eva?
Well, I did the blogs for a while on a couple of them. I was doing basically just what I was doing at the time. The Liam King one right now, obviously. I mean, your newsletter, the About Me page, but I haven't really done a lot with the different websites. I know there's so much more you can do with them, but I've just never gotten to the point where it is a little bit of a time suck, and I know it needs to be there and everything, but it's just not something that I've put a lot of the attention that I know I should put into it, and I need to. And going forward this year, I know I've got to do a lot more on there, but just haven't really done a lot with it. Pretty much like the About Me and contact forum, information about the newsletter, if there is a newsletter, the sign up for that, different things about my short stories, novels, coming series that I'm going to be doing, so upcoming things, as well as the the things I'd already done. So, yeah.
I just remembered something else I've seen on some people's websites, especially if they've done some huge world building and they have like epically long series or something. They'll provide like extra features, like maybe timelines or maps or that kind of thing on their website, so people can go and familiarize themselves with it before the next book comes out or something like that. Because some people really like those extras. It's like DVD extras, you know?
Bonus material, yeah.
Yeah, bonus material. I've seen some free download stuff that people can get direct from websites. I think I did that briefly, but they were like short stories. So,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people doing the
That's
short
kinda
stories
fun.
and things.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really the basics. I think is what you said. The links to the books, maybe the about me, the contact form, and getting them to the newsletter. That's really the basic stuff you would need on a website, especially for an author starting out.
On Erica, on your site, so you have a static homepage?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just
I have pretty window image sliders on my websites, which
And
we're
then-
going to hopefully get on the Spurt site too.
okay. And did you have to know to do code to do that, or was that like a plugin?
No, it was already included in the theme that I downloaded. So
Okay. Yeah.
that's,
So
I make sure to look for the themes that have image sliders, and I'm like, yeah,
you really like
I'll
that.
get
Yeah.
that one.
I will say this: romance authors seem to have the better sites too. I don't know, maybe it's expected. I mean, obviously you got a lot of them have the male
Mansions.
models, yeah, and stuff, but they're flashy. Tend to be a little more flashy sites. Tend to be a little more put together, I think, than a lot of.
I think they usually romance authors are usually at the forefront of whatever the hell it's the next big thing in publishing, because they tend to jump on board a lot faster, a lot more than other people. They kind of tread the ground before everyone else decides, oh, this is a cool thing, I should do this too. I think they're a bit more in risk takers sometimes with marketing and things like that.
So wait,
I've
did
seen.
you just say that the romance authors have better websites because they have the male models on there?
I'd say they were better because they're male models. They do. They have them on there.
They also have female models on them too. Not all
That's
of them
true.
just have man chest on them. You realize.
Right. That's true. That is very true.
It just helps.
Okay, I think we got a pretty good handle on this website thing. Now we just got to go out and build them, right?
Gotta do it.
Yeah.
Liam and I should have a little experiment, see who builds the next one first.
So I think what we'll do is when we get the website back for Spurt, we'll just write up all of the links we've mentioned and the embedding the Amazon thing onto third-party websites. I'll include that link. And should we also include our websites? I mean, I know they're in the About Us section of the Spurt website, but not everyone clicks around.
This is true. Not everybody does click around, and I don't know. I might, compared to your website, Erica, I might be a little embarrassed, but I'll put my link in there anyway.
Well, we can make you a project, Wade.
I said,
You're working on your writing at the moment. We'll work on your website next.
Host that is a project. There you go. Okay. Next week, we're trying to bring. Isn't Jason coming back next week? Is that right? I should know
Is that
this
next
already.
week?
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, and I should have it pulled up, and I don't. But not that professional.
I
Erica's
know he's
looking.
coming up soon.
What?
Careful.
And when's the deadline for the anthology?
Oh yeah, the
31st of
30th.
January.
Yeah, end of this month.
I've made it a half hour into that video, so I'll get my story written next week.
Yeah, we had crazy downloads for that episode.
Yeah, we did, and the YouTube viewership was way high. So
Yeah, it's like hasn't been that high in years.
everybody wants to write in our flood anthology, I guess. So start submitting those things to. Oh yeah, I got that address here handy too. So yeah, selfpubrt at gmail.com. selfpubrt@gmail.com. That's Xavier's job, by the way. That's why he's not here or something. And then I think we have Jason. I'm pretty sure Jason Whitehead back on.
Jason is down for next week.
Next week, after our technical difficulties with that show as well. Had a couple of those lately, so tune in with that for some good editing stuff. Jason is a great guy and a good guest, so hopefully we'll have some.
And he will have a better microphone and headphones and the whole thing.
The whole thing, yes. And for our live viewers, maybe you might be catching this one some other time, the live shows will still happen on the website, selfpublishingroundtable.com, but you'll see a link at the top that says this week's show, and we're gonna just do those embedded videos right there for the live show, and then that way it's not doubled up when we send out the email notifications for people that don't listen live. So just click on this week's show each week, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, and whatever time it is in New Zealand, and you guys will get 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock tomorrow.
Yes. You guys will get to interact and have our questions answered live on the air, which we do really like. We love our live viewers. We love all our viewers, but it's really awesome to have a live component. So hopefully the website will be all ready to go next week, and then we'll have updates and all that stuff. So anything else, Erica, Liam?
Lebay Cthulhu.
Okay. And I'll say for Xavier, we missed you, and good night, internets.